at 1250 WTMA. And let's just keep on rolling with this because I want to go to the phone and speak with the guy who is responsible for all of this in some way, shape, or form. He's the man who hired all of us when we worked at Wave.
Laurie Thompson.
He works down at the with the mayor, and he and I are still really good friends, though we don't necessarily see eye to eye on certain things.
You're right. Where are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, say good morning.
I remember when you were a flaming liberal.
Now I'm a flaming libertarian, which is just a conservative who likes to smoke pot. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
right?
say hello to the former general manager of the old Wave. We say hello to Laurie Thompson.
Laurie Thompson.
How y'all doing?
Hey, Laurie.
I feel like being with y'all right now at 8 o'clock. I should be in a sales meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's been a long time. Will you please just sign something with the initials LOT for me? Because I remember that for so many years. Every memo, everything, LOT, Lawrence O. Thompson.
And remember, one really neat thing I remember about Laurie is he used to actually write us nice letters when we do. Like, he'd always write us these letters of appreciation. Yeah. Did you guys get any? I did.
Oh, yeah.
I think I got one, but
What the hell are you talking about? Really? You did that?
Hey, Laurie,
No, just when we do nice things, he would write. Like, he would actually
Well,
write us out this letter and sign it, and it just made you feel real good.
Oh.
Y'all were great. We had fun.
Well, Laurie, but there's a lot of great people over the years who came through the doors of what was the old 96 Wave. And going back to 1985, I mean, when people still to this day remember the waves that played on the radio on the overnight hour.
We did it for about 2 weeks.
Can you tell us just about with the inception of Wave and starting it up and in that dump of a building over there on Remount Road for so long in Hanahan? I mean, you hired all of us in your infinite wisdom and thrust all of us on the airwaves in the low country.
And I didn't fire a single one of you.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
you're right.
He was
Your
smart.
henchman did.
So, I mean, but Laurie, what was that time like in radio in the low country then, and just the whole excitement of Wave in the early days?
Well, of course, I was working for the city then doing Charleston place, so I wasn't in the building the first 18 months or so. When I took it over in June of '87, we were seventh in revenue and below that in ratings. And 1 year later, we were second in revenue, and we stayed that way all the way through. So
Doggone Weasel, right? Was it Weasel?
Behind Weasel.
Weasel.
Those weasels.
95 SX on the Miller Kaplan. That was a proud day. But, when I took it over, it was in pretty bad shape. The general manager that preceded me did not get along with a lot of people, let's say. And, but we were able to build from that, an institution that is still proudly remembered.
Well, and also, it was a different time in radio. I mean, one thing that made Wave, I think, so great was the fact that it was independently and locally owned and had tons of autonomy as opposed to the corporatization of things today. Wouldn't you agree?
I would. Radio today is not anything like it should be.
It could never happen again.
We were involved in a lot of things that nobody else would do, like Wave Fest, which started out as just a small concert at Middlebank Park. We did Leonard Skinner for free.
Eddie Money.
Did Jimmy Buffett after the
Eddie Money.
Eddie
That's
Money,
right.
yeah.
Atlanta Rhythm
had
Section.
fun. We took on things that nobody in this market even tried to do.
Well, Laurie, this is interesting question because you're always politically involved and motivated. But I thought the one thing, maybe it's not a question, maybe it's a statement. The one thing that made 96 Wave, especially throughout the late 80s, throughout the 90s, was that it sort of felt like we were right in line with the pulse of the community. And if there was an issue, it didn't matter what side of the political ball it was on. It was just something, hey, we needed to get a coliseum. We wanted to make sure that we got a brand new baseball stadium. We had Wave Fest. We had Sunday beer and wine sales. We had all these things that we jumped in. And it was not just a morning show. It was all through the day parts. We were so involved with the community. I don't think you can get that. You can't staff a radio station with that many people and play music anymore.
Well, it just doesn't happen today, and it's sad. It's lost its local flavor.
And Laurie, I mean, another thing that's sad is if people go to 96.1 on their FM dial right now, they're going to hear static. I mean, it doesn't even exist anymore. Yeah. I mean, soon you have a conversation about Wave, and people are going to think you're talking about what's at the beach and never what was on the airwaves. And that was a special time in Charleston for a lot of people and for a lot of reasons.
Well, I hear people all the time talk about it. And, in fact, the job I'm doing now, we have an intern at Citadel who said, "Can you get me a T-shirt?" So I got him a T-shirt. I dropped it off the office today. I'm headed to Columbia for the dedication of the Hollings Library. you can talk about Jim DeMint all you want there, Richard. but
Yeah.
Fritz Hollings is the real deal.
My yellow dog Democrat friend, Laurie Thompson, who had the infinite wisdom, though, to hire all of us. And, Laurie, I've never met a person who hasn't said anything but good things about you, that you were a good guy, and we all enjoyed working with you and working for you. And I'm really, I was honored that you hired me. And I've said before, I feel weird sitting in this chair because the people sitting here all were there before me, and all were well-known in Charleston before me. And, I mean, Uncle was a legend, and Adam was always the driver of the car. I just rode shotgun, and then there was that guy Critic in the backseat cracking everybody else. And Hollie's one of the most iconic female voices in Charleston history.
Sure.
And I feel weird sitting here, and I think the irony is that I was the first one canned and the last man standing. So, but it's a testament to you, Laurie, and what you got going from the beginning with people like Jeff Kent and Laurie Nix and others from the beginning, and Uncle's been there just about from the beginning as well. So just thank you, Laurie, for everything, buddy.
I got one other thing, Richard.
Yes.
You look at the station area, it's the Democratic Party of South Carolina, not the Democrat Party.
He won't let it go.
That just makes you want to cut his tie off, doesn't it? Who was there? Remember when we cut his tie off?
Cutting his tie. Actually, it just makes me want to cut him off, period, on the phone.
The Democrat Party, it's the Republic Party.
Hey, Laurie, you're a good man.
Y'all.
You're a good man nonetheless. Hey,
Thank you.
Thank you, Laurie.
Good to hear from you, Laurie.
Yeah, it is good to hear from him, man. And he's on his way up to Columbia, and he is the guy who hired us all. Wow.
Yeah, I love that guy.
We've got so much more to talk about. Let's get the traffic and weather together, and we'll get more coming in here on our waiver union on the Morning Buzz at 1250 WTMA.
Being brought to you by the South Carolina Education Lottery.
Get struck by luck from the South Carolina Education Lottery. It's the newest instant ticket. You could win up to 10 times or a top prize of $25,000.
We have a disabled vehicle now, I-26 eastbound at Ashley Phosphate. Aside from that, we're okay. If you see something, call me 277-1250. I'm Fred Story in the Traffic Center.
Well, another hot day is on tap for the Low Country as highs for this Friday will top out in the middle to upper 90s well inland, about 90 degrees along the coast with a heat index of 105 to 115. Therefore, the National Weather Service has issued an excessive heat watch in effect for this afternoon. Going into this evening, that means a real field temperature could be right around 115. Also, a very slight chance of an isolated shower and thunderstorm. Rather warm and muggy overnight, 78 to 80. And as we get into your Sunday, good bit of heat, low 90s though. We'll see partly cloudy skies, slight chance of a shower and thunderstorm. From the ABC News 4 Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Tom Crawford on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA.
Currently 82 degrees along the Carolina coast and 79 here at 1250 WTMA with your traffic and weather together.
Is your son or daughter having trouble and getting in trouble in school? Get him at Eagle Military Academy. They have open enrollment all year long. Eagle Military Academy, 873-8800.
Okay, Hollie Anderson, remind me, why was Laurie Thompson's tie cut?
I think he took Michael Blaze's keys and he threw it in this big, huge garbage can that was full of like gunk, like sloppy joes and soup and stuff like that. And he would always play tricks on us like that. And he threw Michael Blaze's keys in there, I think it was. And then we all held him down in the hallway. We all attacked him and held him down and cut his tie off. He always wore sharp suits and ties.
He's still a natty dresser, and he's still in good shape, and he's still a good guy despite his leanings. And he and I go back and forth, but Laurie Thompson hired us all, and he and the Beach Company, or I guess it was Cord Street Communications back then, were really responsible for cranking up the waves. So.
I was just going to make a mention that, like Hollie was talking about, there's a lot of behind the scenes cutting up and having fun. I mean, we did that not just on the air. I mean, it went through the whole day. I mean, like Linda and her craziness.
Jeez. She's still there.
She's still there.
She's still there in the building.
Linda Mixon is not actually allowed to have a microphone because you think some of us said some stupid stuff and crazy stuff. Boy, she's a flamethrower.
She was something.
Well, we've got more people to talk to and more stories to tell, and we've got some blasts from the past, some samples of things that happened. We have Hollie Anderson, Miles Crosby, Adam Taylor. It's a wave reunion. You're invited to join us at 556-1250, and after the show, also at Wild Wing Cafe on Rivers Avenue in North Charleston. You're all invited to come out and join us, and this ought to be a lot of fun. We're just getting going. So we've got some stories, some not meant for public consumption that you can watch on TV, but you can't hear when we turn the microphones off. And some we'll share with you on the air as the wave reunion continues. Mike Huckabee and the Huckabee Report on the way, and more phone calls and reminiscing about a great time in Charleston and a great radio station that doesn't exist. It's the wave reunion on the Morning Buzz. I'm Richard Todd. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we've got more on the way here at 1250 WTMA.
Racism. racism.
White culture is responsible for 99.
Oh, come on.
The tough subjects.
Don't go there.
You could talk about them here.
White, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Chinese. Just purely political.
1250 WTMA.
Oh, by the way, one of the things that we do now here I do a lot of live commercials, and I've got some great voices in the room, and of course, Miles was the voice of Wave for a long time.
How many years? Long time.
A long time.
Actually, here's another little thing. I actually did voice work for every TV station in this town at one point or another as well.
That's right. I mean, you did among other TV stations around America as well.
Yeah, 18 different stations.
18 different television stations. So,
TV and radio.
Well, this reunion here is made possible by our friends at Robert Cruz Chevrolet. And Miles, you know Robert, right?
Actually, Robert's a great guy. I've known him for years. The very first Saturn I ever bought, I bought from Robert, what was that, 91 maybe?
Going back almost 2 decades.
Yeah, and guys always treated me great.
Some familiar faces at Robert Cruz Chevrolet like Ken French.
Yeah, known Ken for years.
And Mark Milroth as well. And you got a friend in the car business, and if you're looking for a truck, we encourage you to go to the new Robert Cruz Chevrolet. But I just thought that Uncle Miles could maybe give us an Uncle Miles treatment here with a couple of the things. Like, Miles, where's Robert Cruz Chevrolet located?
It's at, let's see here.
Oh, come on, give me the Miles treatment.
8199 Rivers Avenue, just north of Northwoods Mall, next to Subaru of Charleston, both operated by Robert Cruz and his award-winning team.
I heard you get the pick of the litter with used cars, and you do have a friend in the car business. The sales and service is now open, and if you're looking for a truck, pre-owned truck center, and financing is available, 8199 Rivers Avenue. I'm sorry.
Just north of Northwoods Mall.
He's still got the pipe. He's still got the pipes, man.
One take, that's all you need.
So Robert Cruz, Mark Milroth, Ken French, and everybody at the new Robert Cruz Chevrolet on Rivers Avenue, north of the Northwoods Mall. Thank you so much. Your friend in the car business. Thanks again to Robert Cruz Chevrolet.
The morning. This ought to get your motor running. All summer long, Wild Wing Cafe in Yuengling will be qualifying lucky wing eaters and loyal fun seekers to win a custom bike from Orange County Choppers.